Who do you have in your BYU basketball starting five? It's May 25th. Let's play that game, okay? Why don't we ask our next guest to discuss the current status of the roster?
You're going to ask him that?
The head basketball coach, Dave Rose. No, I won't ask him to give me a starting five at this point. He's got a lot of things on his mind.
It's like, hold on.
Let's just talk about the state of the roster. Right now, from what we can tell, it seems like, aside from Elijah Bryant, everyone else is still in play. And what would it be like to have the core of your team outside of Eli come back? What kind of an advantage is that?
Well, I think that we're excited for June. June 24th is when we'll get them all back here, and we'll see exactly what I really like about the roster is the breakdown of positions. I think that we've got a veteran roster just by the fact that we've got 3 wedding announcements here in the last couple of weeks. So that means that our guys are getting a little bit older, and we'll have older guys on our team. What I really like to talk about just for a minute is this store, man. This store is awesome.
It is awesome. They've renovated it. It looks great, right?
For a guy like me, I've been here for what is this going on, 22 years? So I remember walking in here 22 years ago, but I also remember all my siblings went to school here too. So this is quite a place. I love all the new the Nike gear. I think that majority of that will probably get sold this weekend to the 1,000 fathers and sons that are coming in.
That's right.
For the father and sons camp. They always complain a little bit that the store's not open long enough, and these guys that are coming in will take most of this gear out of here. So if you want something, you might better get down here today, or because it's nice. I like all the women's stuff over there too. My wife will be happy with that.
Great selection. Cheryl can get whatever she wants.
Right? There's 3 or 4 minutes where I've deflected everything from what you guys want to talk about.
We want to talk about the schedule and the roster and Yoli and all that.
I want to talk about this store.
Yeah.
And all these fans. Awesome. All these fans being here.
That is cool. That is cool. We told them you were coming. They sprinted from the dorms. Yeah,
and absolutely. These 2 Cougars. I like those.
Yeah, very nice. So how is the roster? I mean, June 24th is when you, I assume, start kind of summer camp. Are you still recruiting your guys in a way? In college basketball, it's like year to year, right?
There's no question. I think that, our guys, with Yoli and his situation and his just returning, that kind of, changes things for some of the other guys and what they were thinking about doing. And what I do know, these guys are all winners. They're all competitors. And when we get this thing together, that last week of June, that we'll have a group of guys that are focused and dialed in. I think that the culture of our program, these players have created it, and they're the ones who continue the culture of just winning. And it seems like the last couple of years we haven't won enough. I remember the years when we were making all those runs in the NCAA tournament. You felt like you hadn't won enough. You wanted 1 more or 2 more. But we need to get back to the NCAA tournament, and I think these guys understand it, and that'll be a huge focus as we get started.
No question you've put together a schedule that will challenge your team, and it will resonate with the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee with the addition of Mississippi State. I mean, you open up at Nevada, a team that went to the Sweet 16. Their coach feels like that might be the best team they have ever. How do you feel about the scheduling that you have put together thus far?
Well, it's hard. It's really hard to get what we need. I mean, we average, 17,000, 18,000 fans, and you've got to get return games. It's hard just to go out there and play people and not get a return to have a home schedule for you. And so, we actually are going to Mississippi State this year without a return. I thought Jashir would love that and his family going back down there. And so, and plus Ben's got a great team. And Ben, I played Ben at UCLA a few years ago. In a non-return game, and took him quite a while to actually agree to play us again. But we're looking forward to all the games on the schedule. They're all difficult. Trying to win 1 game is really tough, let alone 20 or 25. So these guys they'll be up for the challenge. I think playing one thing about playing teams that maybe have their very best team in the history of the program, like you talked about with Nevada, we're kind of used to that. I think St. Mary's and Gonzaga has gone through that in the last few years. So, hopefully we'll get off to a good start and win a lot of close games early. That's a real key to having a successful season because, those 1 and 2 and 5, 3-possession games, you can see in the NBA playoffs right now. I mean, it's 3-2 both sides, but could easily be over in those series as far as just a few possessions down late in the game. And so that's what gives you your confidence and then your ability to get in league and to, have a terrific league schedule. I mean, results. But you look at Gonzaga and where they're ranked right now, and they don't skip a beat. They just keep bringing it, and so hopefully we'll be up to the challenge to get them this year.
What's the latest on the possible return of Nick Emery?
The latest is it's in the plans. It's work. He wants to come back. The administration has put that in place. I don't know if he's been readmitted and enrolled in class yet, but that's the next step, and we're expecting him to be here on the 24th.
Dave Rose, BYU basketball head coach, with us on BYU Sports Nation. We are live from the BYU store. When do you expect to find out about the West Coast Conference schedule with the new changes that go into play with only 16 league games this year instead of 18?
Well, we have our coaches meeting next week. It's Thursday in San Francisco, and so I'm sure there will be a lot of discussion. The best part about that Wednesday is when I leave San Francisco to fly home, I'm no longer the chairman of the committee.
Congratulations.
A lot has actually happened in the time that I've served. But
who's taking over?
It'll be somebody else. I think it's Kyle Smith from San Francisco. Okay. So, it hasn't been a huge burden, but when you're the guy at these meetings and you're bringing up all these topics and these guys are looking at you sideways, it'll be better for me to be in the position where I can look at the guy.
You like looking sideways at other people.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Yoli Childs dipped his toes in the NBA waters, tried it out. He said everyone should try it out. He got some feedback. What was the conversation like with him? Because you obviously want him to return, but he wants to develop some skills. So how does that conversation
Well, I think that's the most difficult situation, what you just said, is that you want him to return. That's what everyone feels like. The coach wants the guy to come back, so he doesn't really, have an opinion that's non-prejudice. His opinion is all, let's get him back here so the team will be good. And that's really not the case. I mean, I want these kids to be able to chase this dream. I mean, and to be able to have an opportunity to really make it happen. And if it's that time, then let's do it. If it's not that time, let's come back and use this as a resource to help you get better and to, obviously help our team. And in your situation, he was just really convinced that what he wants out of an NBA draft wasn't going to happen this year. Now, what Eric wanted out of an NBA draft, that's all in his mind and his personality, and same with Eli. But what Yo wanted out of the NBA draft just came out and said, Coach, listen, it's not going to happen for me this year, so I'm going to come back.
With Dave Rose on BYU Sports Nation, we just talked about the addition of Yoli Childs. I'm trying to remember a time where just to have it in play that you return basically your entire roster. When was the last time that even happened?
It's been a while, and I'm excited. We basically have 5, maybe 6 starters that are returning. With Zach Sellius, because I think he played a lot of minutes in the starting role his freshman year. I just think we've got guys that are ready to play. I think that for me, I'm excited about Connor and Gav and Colby Lee. I'm excited about that. But what you really plan on are the guys who have been here. Peyton Dastrup, Rylan Bergeson. I think those guys are in a position after being, guys that were supporting roles that their opportunity will be to get out front and not only be possible starters or potential starters, but probable starters in some situations. And so, we'll change a little bit about the way we play because of how we play with Eli stepping out, bringing Nick back, and so there's a lot. There's a lot of excitement within the players trying to figure out your question of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And let's finish with this. The Fathers and Sons camp. I believe there's like some kind of contest, whether it's shooting or 3-on-3 or something. And
there's a lot of contests.
Michael Smith is prominently featured. Like, yes. What are the most competitive competitions at the Fathers?
The last day of the camp on Monday afternoon, we have all the champions from the individual groups that have gone through, and it's probably what you'd call knockout or lightning or whatever. The whole camp's there. They're all cheering, and guys, the free throw contest is pretty. I think that's pretty stressful for the guys, especially some of the guys that made all 10. Then they get up there the first time and miss it, and it's all because of the crowd. You got 500, 600, 700 people up there cheering for you or against you, and that's the beauty of sports, isn't it? I mean, to watch the guys do it under pressure. I mean, that's the greatest thing in these playoffs is to watch. Last night you saw two teams that I thought both of them were really nervous. A lot on the line, and it changed the way that they normally play.
Mistakes were made. Huge mistakes were made.
It's real, and the pressure even affects our father and sons trying to make get a T-shirt for the championship.
Listen, the cut, like the intramural shirt, it's like a $5 T-shirt, but it is way more than that.
It's what it says on the shirt that
yes.
you get to wear
you
around.
can't buy that at the BYU store,
exactly
right?
Exactly. Another thing we should talk about is my golf tournament last Monday. It was awesome.
Heard it was a great success.
Went great. We raised a lot of money for Huntsman Hospital up there and the foundation up there. Next week, the second week of June. We have a camp first week, and then the third week. That second week, Cheryl and I are going to Nashville to Infinity headquarters to pick up the check for the Simmons
Let's give it up
Center,
for that.
Yes, $100,000, and all the people that voted for us during the season.
Everyone here voted.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'll tell you what was some of the coolest things during that time was I'd pull through the drive-through at Wendy's or Neater's or wherever I go, and I had two different situations where the girl serving me there sees my credit card and go, "Oh, are you the David Rose?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm the coach at BYU. I just voted for you."
You're like, "Thanks."
Hey, that's awesome.
Can I get some extra sauce?
I said, "Get all those people in there to vote for me."
It was Wendy's and Neaters that put you over the
top. It was pretty cool, yeah. And so we'll get to go back to Nashville. And actually, I've never been to Nashville. And
great city.
So we get a chance to go to the Grand Ole Opry and do some stuff. So it'll be
very cool.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, we commend you.
Well, thanks for deflecting all our hard questions. We appreciate it.
You can talk to me anytime you want, guys.
He swatted everything away. The leading shot blocker, Dave Rose.
But I will tell you that it will be really interesting, the schedule discussion at the WCC, because we're going 16 teams. We don't know who that's going to be. Who are the two teams that we just play once?
Man.
We'll see.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
All right, guys.